Welcome back to another episode of Fire Life. I want to talk about the upcoming year and how we can take care of ourselves moving forward. I know this week, whether you're watching this in real time or in the future, it is November 2024, and we just endured an election season that has been very intense, uncertain, scary. All of the fears and doubts are surfacing, and I just want to provide some tips in order for us to build a stronger foundation for ourselves in the future, whether it's for your personal life, your business life, your job life, your financial life, spiritual life, whatever the case may be. I want to create somewhat of an action plan for us to move forward so we have a better grip on who we are. So in any incident in which we encounter adversity, discouragement, distractions, hate, all of the things, that we don't fall off of our square. We're still human. We're going to make mistakes, but the quicker you can bounce back, the more you can focus on your life, to me, the more you will experience joy. And first and foremost, that always starts with gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. As corny and cliche as that sounds, it really is true. Accepting and learning what true gratitude is in my life has really impacted my mental health, as well as made my days better. Because it's not that I'm having a bad day, just part of my day is bad. And knowing that I've built this imaginary toolbox that I could reference, okay, when I'm down and out, this is usually, typically, guaranteed will get me out of this funk. And I reference that, and sometimes I'll learn new ways to encounter and manage those incidents. But ultimately, moving forward, this is all about how can you make your 2025 and beyond, even today, still the best times of your life. Because we're going to go through stuff, we're going to hurt, we're going to cry, we're also going to laugh, experience joy. And, I claim that the next year, 4 years and beyond are going to be some of the best times of our life, despite what's going on with the world and who's in charge and who's running the country, right? We still have to take back our power. And if you believe in a fight, you still have to keep fighting, but you can't do that if you're not okay. And I want to take some lessons I've learned being self-employed and show you guys a few ways that you can build your foundation so you have a strong, healthy awareness of who you are, why you're doing things. So when you are hit with things that will try to tear you down or people that'll talk down to you, you'll already be armored. You'll be strong. You'll be like, this is not bringing value into my life, and it's not going to advance me to get to where I need to go. Because oftentimes we just lack vision and the ability to dream. And all of that requires a bit of effort. I am approaching 7 years of being self-employed, and believe me, it has been a roller coaster of events, just like any career, but this is the life I've chosen. This is the life God has blessed me with, and I do not want to squander it. But I'm in a season now of how can I give back? How can I help others? And I feel like in these 7 years, I want to say 7+ years, because even when I was at my 9 to 5, for a good 2 years, I was clocked out. I was like, I don't want to be here. They know I don't want to be here, but we're all just not saying a thing, and because the work is getting done, and we just got to keep it moving. We're not going to let anything stop us. So in these last 7+ years, and definitely in this last decade, I've realized and learned a lot of things, but I want to share just a few tips to help you guys stay on track for the upcoming year. And I'll dive deeper into this. I'm actually doing a live stream on my other YouTube channel, Transaction Care, which is actually my business page, but I didn't feel right not providing you guys here, my personal family and friends and community that support me and love me with, I didn't want to leave you guys hanging and only share it over there. I felt like I can have these conversations simultaneously without it disrupting an algorithm. Like, I don't care about that stuff anymore. It matters, yes, but if I only go about life pleasing an algorithm, I'll be miserable and disappointed every single time. So right now, it's just breaking through to someone, at least someone, in order to have some of the best years of your life. So we're going to go through this pretty quickly because I don't want to bore you guys too much with details and me yapping, because I can yap. But straight out the gate, I'm going to read it from my notes, but we want to talk about having a word of the year. I've had a word of the year for the last 3-4 years now. Game changer. What is your why? Understanding and knowing what your why is. It could be a word, it could be a name, it could be a statement, it could be pages long. But know your why. Knowing your why is the foundation that's going to hold you down in despair, in celebration, and all of the in between. What are your priorities for this upcoming year? What are your priorities? 1 to 3 things. Keep it short. And then once those 1 to 3 things are done, move on to the next 1 to 3 things. I do encourage you to focus on one thing at a time, but that's a conversation for another day. List out, what are your needs? What are your wants? What are your dreams? What are your goals? Again, what are your needs? What are your wants? What are your dreams? What are your goals? Okay? So this is an exercise in getting to know who you are as a person and what you actually need and desire, right? Because oftentimes we just wake up, we just go on with our day, never challenge anything, never question anything, never acknowledge anything, never celebrate anything, never change anything. It's just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Sometimes we just got to stop. Is this feeding me? Am I full at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month? However often you need to check in with you, however much time you need to resolve something, or go to God, or go to your journal, or go to the Bible, or go to your therapist, your coach, your friends, your family. All of this plays into your needs, your wants, and are they being met? And are there areas where you need to let go and just say, this is not working anymore, I got to keep it moving? Or is this worth prioritizing in my life? And where am I lacking accountability? And where can I step up and meet my blessings halfway? Notice I didn't say a person or a job, but meeting my blessings. Because oftentimes our joy isn't rooted in the love of another person or the love of a dollar. It's just in how you choose to wake up and navigate each day and being grateful for all parts of your day. So, list out what are your needs, your wants, your dreams, your goals, because that will help you prioritize, again, going back to your priorities, what you're going to focus on throughout the year. And then now you want to talk about, okay, what is my timeline? If you look at the year, there's a book I recommend, and I'll probably do another separate video on this, but it's called The 12-Week Year. I read this book after I read Atomic Habits, and it was the perfect transition after getting my habits in check and bringing awareness to my habits and my good and bad habits and new habits that I implemented into my life, because the 12-week year helped me to focus on that one major priority in my life and give my attention to that. Because the older I get, the easier it's like, squirrel, 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 squirrel. And I'm easily pulled out of what I'm supposed to do. And going into the next topic, this has led me down a path of almost self-destruction. I had my priorities all mixed up. I was getting into debt. I was overdrafting. It has been a roller coaster, to say the least, in the last couple of years. I had a lot of money, then I had no money. Then I got back on my feet. Again, conversations for another day, but I do want to wrap this up by talking about money. Money is always a difficult conversation to approach. I could talk about it freely. I love talking about it. In fact, any moments I can talk about money and helping people, or talking about my journey with money and the journey I'm on right now. I'm on a debt-free journey as we speak. So if you're on a debt-free journey, raise your hand, drop a money emoji in the comments, because we need to form a community and get these resolve our money traumas and get these debts paid, but also start thinking about saving and investing, diversifying, having assets, right? But money, again, is its own conversation for another day. But it is a main factor for many, if not all of us, that has been the cause of a lot of our probably depression, our anger, our anxiety. For some, your joy, your happiness. But at a certain point, how often do you check on your money, and how often do you ignore it or avoid it? I have a bad habit of checking my money every 5 seconds and creating different ways that I can manage my budget or manage my money. Like, when in actuality, I should be spending that time creating new opportunities to make more money instead of rearranging the $100 in this account. Like, let's create a plan to make a new $100. Can I sell something in my house? When was the last time I picked up my actual camera? I'm using my phone. Do I still need this camera? This is a $1,000 camera, maybe even more, because I added a mic. We have the memory card. You know what I mean? Like, there's money everywhere. My mom says there's money on the floor. You just got to pick it up and get rid of it. So I just wanted to present these topics to you guys. I hope it wasn't too overwhelming, but I also hope it was encouraging and motivating at this point in time, because this is something that has helped me and shaped me as a person over the course of 7 to 10 years. And I know for some, you might be thinking, oh my God, I don't have 7 to 10 years to get my life together. I need to do this now. You can. This is why I'm talking about it, because it took me 7 years to get here. It may take you 7 minutes, 7 months, and some lessons aren't going to, I don't even know if we ever really master life or the lesson. It's more so, are we, I don't know, it's like, now I'm kind of freestyling, so bear with me. I feel like I'm learning to, one, be more still. And I was listening to a sermon today, and she said to quiet your soul. So I'm learning to quiet my soul so I can allow God to talk to me. So I'm not just operating out of response. That is something that I often do. I operate in response, meaning if I see something online that motivates me, then I'll go do the work. When in reality, I need to do the work when no one's watching, when I'm not being inspired or motivated or triggered. Like right now, turning on this camera and talking to you guys. But quieting my soul to allow God to work through me. And again, whatever higher being you believe in, or whatever gurus you're following, it's all about how are you listening and then taking action. So I'm going to end it here because I feel like I'm losing my own thought process, and I have a lot to talk about moving forward, but I want you guys to just start thinking about 2025 and using the next couple of months to really get organized. I think that's the best way to combat the upcoming season of all of our lives. If you live in the United States, or if you live anywhere else in the world, getting as organized as possible, letting go of the trash, and welcoming in a new season of clarity, openness, space, stillness, peace of mind, peace of mind, peace of mind, peace of mind. Even if your why is just peace of mind, spend the rest of your days in this upcoming season just creating more peace in your life. Logging out of social media, deleting numbers, deleting apps. I just deleted every single game off of my phone. And a bunch of apps that I hadn't even been using. So now I have more space on my phone to talk to you guys and create and help the world. No, maybe not the whole entire world. I don't know what God has in store for me, but even if it's just the one person. But either way, think about the upcoming seasons of your life, whether you look at it as quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, 2024, 2025, however you see this next season and upcoming season in your life. How are you taking action? How are you honoring you, your why? And how are you providing value to your community? Stick to that. Feel free to reach out. I also offer one-on-one coaching and consulting. If that interests you, everything will be in the description of this video. But ultimately, it's important that I just come on here and talk and start building community. I think we all deserve it, and I think it's important that these conversations and these dialogues happen. And I don't mind being the facilitator of that and leading this charge of just knocking down barriers, knocking down doors in order for us to live our best, be our best selves, and stay true to that. So with all that said, thank you for joining me. I had a lot to say today, but I'm glad I said it. And I just want to be a vessel to help you in your journey. And cheers to more life. And it's your girl Lils. Subscribe, follow, comment, do all the things. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And remember, life is a blessing. Trust the abundance.